Pretty Black Girl Problems Part 3. This was highly requested, so here we go. When you are the pretty black girl, especially if you are dark-skinned with very full features, there's always going to be a number of people who are going to try to prove that you're average or to prove that you're not that pretty because you are unambiguous. And in their minds, unambiguous people are not the quote-unquote pretty ones. They're used to seeing unambiguous women as, the mammies, the servants, the sidekicks. But when you're not a sidekick and you're the main character, people flip the F out. This kind of piggybacks off of my video that I made about AD. That's why I'm showing pics of her, because underneath that video, I saw a lot of comments saying, AD actually is average, and her makeup ain't good and her hair ain't good, and the men were calling her a quote-unquote butterface. We all know that AD looks better than the average person that you would see in a Walmart. Like, you don't see women looking like this in Walmart. And I'm using Walmart because Walmart is the haven for average looking people. Like, basic bitches love Walmart, y'all. Most, but not all, of the people calling AD average were other unambiguous black people. When you are the pretty girl as an unambiguous black woman, you are going to get downplayed by other unambiguous people. And the reason behind this is black people as a whole don't like what they look like. They don't like their own phenotype. And I've mentioned this in a video before. So when self-hating unambiguous people see a pretty unambiguous girl getting uplifted for her beauty, getting opportunities, making lots of friends, or even getting positive attention from other ethnicities of people. I mean, I've been told that my hair is beautiful and my skin is beautiful by outsiders. That sends self-hating unambiguous people into a state of cognitive dissonance. Many of them hate their own phenotype. They hate their, fuller facial features. So when they see another person with fuller facial features, dark skin or whatnot, that is being celebrated for their beauty or social climbing or getting opportunities in networking or acting or modeling, it sends their mind on a tangent. They just can't believe it. And they're like, wait, this girl has the skin tone and the phenotype that I hate about myself, so she can't be pretty. Or this girl has fuller facial features that I'm insecure about, so how is she a model? I was scrolling on TikTok the other day, and then I saw a woman called AD Basic, and you go over to the TikTok profile, and it's a woman who has an unambiguous phenotype that's very similar to AD's. So my question to her would be, if AD is basic, then what are you? Because you have a similar phenotype. When you are the pretty black girl, other black people will act like a crabs in a bucket or whatever the saying is. I was seeing quite a bit of men saying that AD is not that pretty and she average and her face ain't it and it's just her body. And somebody even came under my videos and said, oh, well, she ain't no Beyonce. And black men love to call us average, basic, and even ugly if we don't have, a more narrow nose or slimmer lips or lighter skin, like a Beyonce or Alicia Keys. So that's them reinforcing the Eurocentric standard of beauty or forcing the Eurocentric standard of beauty onto black women. And yes, we contribute to it too, because a lot of black women like to wear straighter hairstyles. However, if you ask them, black men, they'll try to put it all on us, when the reality is they play a huge role in upkeeping the Eurocentric standard of beauty in our community. And when you expose this about them, they respond to you so hostilely. They're like, why are you shaming my preference? Why do I have to be attracted to black women? Why do I have to like African features? It's okay not to be attracted to black women. Stop trying to take away my preference. And listen, I'm not telling anyone they can't have a preference. I'm explaining to my following why black men have the preferences that they do. First and foremost, black men don't like their own phenotype. So of course, they're not going to want a dating partner who shares their phenotype. And before you try to argue with me, I've heard countless black men say, I'm black and ugly, my hair's so nappy, blah, 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 blah. When do you hear a white man call himself white and ugly? When do you hear a white man say he will never date a woman who is as white as he is? You don't, because white men are proud of their features. They're proud of white women's beauty. They're proud of their race, and they want to replicate it. Black men are not. That's why they call themselves black and ugly, and they want to fool you into thinking that your West African features are ugly as well. That's why whenever there's a pretty black woman feeling herself, there's always a slew of black men trying to prove that she's not that attractive or that she's average. And it's like, no, you don't like your African features, and that has nothing to do with us. I think that when black men look at our beautiful West African features, they associate it with their own traumas. They associate our West African features with their own feelings of inadequacy, which is sad, but it's not our fault, and we're not going to deal with that in 2024. We all know AD of all people is not average. And the proof of that is she was an NFL cheerleader. And we all know that you have to be above average to get on one of these teams. Like, there's no plain Janes allowed on the NFL cheer teams. This proves that there are objective metrics of beauty that go beyond race, as I've been saying in video after video after video. This reminds me of a similar situation that happened to Cachet Proudfoot, when she spent her time on Love Island. Back then, everyone was saying, oh yeah, she's average. That's why don't nobody want her on the island. She's this, she's that. And it's like, okay, well, if she were truly average, she wouldn't be on a show like Love Island where the contestants are known for being hot. Because she was an unambiguous black woman, other black people were trying to prove that she was quote unquote average. And it's like, okay, do average people have over 300,000 followers on Instagram and brand endorsements? Cachet came on her friend's podcast and said that she has been wined and dined by wealthy men of all ethnicities from all over the world. She travels. Is that the life of an average-looking woman? Is that the life of a plain Jane? No, it isn't. AD is getting big on social media as well. She has over 600,000 followers and growing. She's getting her brand endorsements. Her real estate business is popping. Let's be honest. If either of these two women were as average as these self-hating, unambiguous people are trying to make them out to be, they wouldn't be influencers. Because people do not look up to average people. Before I close out, I want to make a disclaimer. I didn't make that white man comparison to put white men on a pedestal. As you guys already know, I'm not a divestment channel. I don't think any race of man should be on a pedestal. I was just trying to prove my point about black men. But anyways, I'm sick and tired of people trying to prove that we're average. We're trying to prove that we're basic or not that pretty or even ugly, when it's obviously not the case. And the trolls are still going to be under here trying to prove that we're average and not that pretty, but I don't care. You trolls are helping me pay my rent by watching my channel, so keep trolling, trolls. Anyways, I'm Akila Shea, and if you want more content like this, please join the Dark Skin Clique, and I'll catch you in the next one.